Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of the Nap Bros podcast. This time around, Scott's not joining us mainly because the man can't handle winners. No, he can't. It's late at night for him, and so don't want to necessarily. We're recording this at 12:45 his time, like midnight 45 his time, so that would be a little late for him. But anyway, we are reacting to Week 5, what has happened inside of the Chattown Fantasy Football League, and so we are going to have little discussions about that. We've changed up the way that we're doing it because my brother came up with a much better way of presenting the matchups. And so we will get to that.
Because your brother just decided to quit slacking and to try and help out a little bit.
Hey man, but it's a brilliant thing. I mean, it's always good to have two brains instead of just the one. Even though my brain is great, it's better to have two great brains. Anyway, so let's give out the current standings. In number 1, Lamarvel Universe had a 4-0 or 4-1 record. Heartbeat number 2 with also a 4-1 record. London Silly Nannies in number 3 with a 4-1 record. Don't Take the Bate-Man at number 4 with a 4-1. Yay! With a 4-1 record. Back in the hot seat, yours truly with a 3-2 record, and it's a fake 3-2 record. I'm the only team in the league that's 3-2. Like that's the crazy thing. Yeah. Better than Scott in 6th place with 2-3 at 2-3. Leprechauns at 7th with 2-3. Schrute Farms at 8, making a comeback at 2-3. 1-2 in a row. Nicely done, Cody. Let's Ride in 9th place, 2-3. Waterboys also 2-3 in 10th place. Biggest Loser in 11th place. The only team that is 1-4. And our fearless commissioner, Scott's Tots, in 12th place at 0-5.
0-5.
Now, here's the thing. I think he's the third. He's the third lowest with points for, but he is the second highest with points against. So like his points for is at 433.
Well, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and cover that one note that I pulled up.
Go ahead.
He is. What did you say? 4th as far as scoring points. Is that what you said?
No. He's third from last place in points for.
So ninth.
He's not the lowest. 9th. Yeah, he's 9th in points for. Like that he's scored.
And he's not the highest as far as letting points scored against him. He's 2nd to that one, it looks like.
Yeah.
But let me just put this in perspective for Scott if he's listening, which I'm sure he will be at this point when we release this.
Hi, Scott.
If Scott picks the correct lineup 4 out of the last 5 weeks, or all 5 weeks, he's 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
He has been in 3 of the barely eked it out category, as we call it, as the losing man. He was 1.2 in the first week, 1.4 in week 2, and then this last week he was 7 points. Scott makes the right call for lineup. All 5 weeks he's 4-1 instead of 5-0-5.
Wow.
Yes, Scott, don't trade. Pick the right lineup. But, I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm just trying to help you. You got a hell of a team. It's just you pick the wrong guys all the time. All right, I will get off my high horse on that one. Between 1st and 2nd, I don't know if you pointed this out for the points. No. The Marvel Universe is in 1st place with 0.04 seconds more than Heartbeat.
0.04 points more, not seconds. I was like, hey, wait, what?
That's 6 seconds?
You did 6 seconds.
I apologize. The London Silly Nannies was in 4th last week and had a bombing of a week. Came up to 3rd place. I was in 3rd. He's 3rd now. And he is 90 points away. And I'm like 100 and some odd, 104 roughly, from 2nd place. So it's like, man, that's crazy how much they have more than us.
Yep.
Also, London Silly Nannies has the most points scored against him.
Yep. So he's doing a really good job.
Side notes: Lamarvel Universe, London Silly Nannies, Let's Ride, the Waterboys have not spanned any of their fab.
Yeah, I don't think London Silly Nannies and Lamarvel Universe currently need to. I think they seem to have pretty solid teams.
I'm not saying
Lamarvel Universe hasn't done any moves at all. Nothing on the waiver wire at all. Now, here's what I think would be really funny. And Lamarvel, I'm not necessarily calling this out, but I really hope that this happens. I would like to see what happens if any of your people go down. Because right now, you're so dependent on the people that you have. If any one of them goes down, like especially your quarterback, if Lamar goes down, what are you going to be able to do? Like, how are you going to be able to pick yourself back up? So I would be curious to see that. Now, it's brilliant that he's waiting and not spending money on the waiver. Let's Ride, Waterboys. You guys really need to start spending your waiver, your fab money. Waterboys, like apparently, it's only whenever you play my brother and me that you win anything, and unfortunately, you cannot play us the entire season. So get some work done. Average point difference this week was 29.53. So the difference in points was 29.53. So it kind of seems like maybe it's balancing out. I don't know, because last week was 27.68. So maybe it's starting to kind of like be around that area, or maybe it's just the teams that everybody who won by about 30 points generally. And so let's get into the matchups and the useful points on the bench. So this time we're doing the segment where we're going to talk about the matchup, and then we're going to talk about the useful points on it, on the bench for each team, and then whether or not they were able to win if they had actually started their optimal lineup. So I'll start us out because, again, since I'm the one who puts in the document first, I'm always the one who's leading. So back in the hot seat, my team ended up beating Let's Ride 100.1 points to 76.46. So a good turnout there. There were 4.4 points that I left on the bench because if I had started Rachaad White over Nyheim Hines, that would have gotten me 4.4 points. Not that I would have done that because, again, Nyheim Hines got knocked out early in the game with a concussion, and with everything going on with Tua, like they didn't want to risk it, I'm sure. So that makes sense. So I only got 1.3 points from him. Let's Ride, you left 11.62 points on the bench. You should have started Kenny Pickett over Russell Wilson, Rondale Moore over James Robinson, and James Cook over Najee Harris. Even if you had done that, though, however, you still wouldn't have been able to beat me because it still would have been 100.1 to 88.08. So,
Not to mention the fact that, like we were talking about before, you pick up a QB that gets you 0 points and you still win. It's not right.
But that's the thing. It's like,
that's right. I'm going to need you to do better. I'm going to need you to do better next time. To make him 2-3 instead of 3-2. I went up against our formal champion and commissioner, Scott Tots. Closest win difference, like I talked about before. Went into Monday night's game down 21 points and some change, and Josh Jacobs got me 27.5 points. To say I was living on a prayer was.
Can I interject here? So Andrew sends me a text message before the Monday night game, and he's like, I'm about to hand Scott his first win of the season, and I'm like, and I had to look. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what's going on? And yeah, Scott's in the lead by 20 plus points, and I'm like, oh. But you got Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs could potentially have a really good game. Now, he didn't have as great a game as he did in week 4, because in week 4, I think he had like 32 points or something like that, or 30-some-odd points. But you only needed 22 points, and you got 27 out of the man. So
I went to bed at 22 points. I'm not going to lie. I quit watching. I needed 21. I got 22. I'm going to sleep. Woke up with 27. Good. I'm happy. But, Scott had 14 points on the bench. I like how my brother put I had the perfect lineup. I had every one of my wide receivers or running backs or whatever were out on injury or injury reserve. So that was all I had for starting lineup. That was this week's even worse. We got bye weeks now, and I don't even know who I'm going to start. I don't have Josh Jacobs, which it's fine, because I have like a heck of a schedule coming up the next 2 or 3 games, so it's all good. Kenny Walker, if you start Kenny Walker, which a heck of a pickup, got to give to him. I feel like he was at Seattle's game and he like shot Rashad or something like that. Like I feel like he was there and he's like, I'm gonna get Kenny Walker and just put Penny out for the rest of the season. It's like he had
paid some money to somebody.
He had to have been at the game, Scott. Like you bribed somebody, but Kenny Walker or J.K. Dobbins, I wouldn't have done that either. Perrine over Brandon Cooks, I wouldn't have cared either way on that one. I don't really. I've never had any of those guys on my
P. Ryan.
Listen, I do not correct you in your English.
Because I get the names correct. And because I teach English.
Yeah, once again, though, Scott, you've 3 times have been on the losing end of the closest points or barely eked it out. And you'd be 4-1 right now if you started all your lineups correctly from the past 5 weeks.
You would have beat Andrew this week. So, yeah. So, better than Scott. Beat Biggest Loser. 129.78 to 91.14. Better than Scott, left 10.64 points on the bench. If he started Jimmy Garoppolo over Joe Burrow, probably not going to happen. And if he started Tony Pollard over A.J. Brown, again, not going to happen.
I mean, I don't know. Like, Garoppolo's on a hot streak right now, and Burrow can't stay protected long enough in that pocket. Like, he just gets slain every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, against Baltimore though, like Baltimore's defense hasn't been great, and so that's why Lamar has been doing such a great job, is because they need a really great offense. So I don't blame him for starting Joe Burrow, but yeah, I mean Garoppolo is starting to like catch fire for sure, and so we'll see how he does. Biggest Loser, you left 7.5 points on the bench. You should have started Chase Claypool over Keenan Allen. Now, I'm not going to actually, I'm not sure. I don't think – here's the thing. Biggest Loser, did you know that Keenan Allen was still out? Like, surely you knew that, like, Keenan Allen was still, like, on the injured.
I think it was a game time
Was he game time? Even if he's game time, like, it's been 3-4 weeks since Keenan Allen's been on the field. If he's a game time decision, leave him out. If Biggest Loser had started his optimal lineup, he still wouldn't have been able to beat Better Than Scott. It would have been 98.64 to 129.78.
Next up, Heartbeat took his first L to London Silly Nannies. London Silly Nannies had 5 points left on the bench. He should have started DJ Moore over Adam Thielen. Probably not, because like you said, DJ Moore's been out for how long? And then Cole Kmet over... Is it Alexander Madison?
Yeah, Alexander Madison. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd start Alexander Madison. Heartbeat left 17.1. I don't know that I would start David Montgomery over Clyde Edwards, but David Montgomery was injured, so he wasn't sure. So I would have done that too. And then Will Disley, he was hoping on Hawkinson getting another blowout, but God, Detroit. Oof.
I mean, the thing too is like with T.J. Hawkinson, like you just knew that Heartbeat was going to play him because, I mean, he's coming off of a 30-point game. But like that's the thing about Detroit. That's the thing about Hawkinson is it's like you can't bank on that often. It's like
so.
Again,
I still wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a weird one. I know. Heartbeat would have won 128 to 117 if they'd done their optimal lineup, 128.84. So either way, London still wins.
Nice job, London Silly Nannies, bringing in the first loss for Heartbeat. Well done. Thank you. No undefeated teams in this league, period. All right. Next on the docket, Schrute Farms making a comeback. And with the biggest blowout of the week, Schrute Farms beating the Waterboys 122.92 to 64.34, a point differential of 58.58. So,
I would say
awesome.
that making a comeback, sure, out of the bottom 16, but I would also say, London's on a winning streak of 3 games now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Schrute Farms, you left 21.1 points on the bench. You should have started Geno Smith over Justin Herbert. Probably not going to do that. And Michael Carter over Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju's done. Like I just don't think like he's worth anything anymore. Like I think he's worthless right now. Waterboys, you left 18.3 points on the bench. Should have started Marvin Jones over Jamar Chase. Never. J.D. McKissick over Damian Harris, only because Damian Harris got injured. Like that's he ended up getting out of the game, and so I'm pretty sure if he were still in the game, J.D. McKissick would have had less points. And McCole Hardman over Christian Kirk. Yeah, I don't know. Like Christian Kirk's like the number one on Jacksonville, but nevertheless, even if you had started all the people that you needed to, you would have had 82.64 points. You still would have lost badly.
Marvel Universe faced the Leprechauns. Lamarvel left 21 points on his bench.
Well, tell him what the points were. The
score was 114.46 to 94.2. Starting Mark Cooper over George Pickens, Raheem Mostert over Aaron Jones, Valdez or MVS over Jamal Williams.
I probably would have done Amari Cooper over George Pickens.
Yeah,
like that's probably the only one that I would. Yeah.
Rest of them,
Heck no. Ain't no way you're starting Mostert over Jones. Ain't no way you're starting MVS over Williams. Not happening. It's just that Detroit hit a buzzsaw in New England. It was just there was just nothing that could be done.
Dang, Leprechaun left a lot of people on, didn't he? Carr over Kyle Murray. Probably never would have happened. Kyle Murray has that upside of running the ball a lot.
Right.
Deontay Johnson over Higgins.
T. Higgins, yeah. I think T. Higgins got injured, and I think that's what happened. Or was
Boone over A.J. Dillon. So apparently all of Green Bay was sucking on their run game.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Collins over Romeo Dobbs. Probably never would have happened. I don't know Collins. Like, this is the first time I've seen his name, really.
Oh, yeah. He's a Houston wide receiver. He's a Houston wide receiver.
Yeah, good call on Romeo, except for you losing. Zach Ertz over Robert Woods. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's you. I mean, you started everybody I would have started. So, I mean,
yep.
You would have won had you started the right people, but it is what it is.
So, surprise in a good way. Taysom Hill versus Seattle. What the heck? What is it with Seattle and tight ends, period? Because last week, TJ Hawkinson. This week, Taysom Hill. It just seems like tight ends just have... So, if your tight end is playing Seattle, play them. If you need to stream a tight end, stream anybody who is playing Seattle. Just it seems like Seattle is just not able to do anything against the tight end. So Taysom Hill got 34.08 points from Seattle. He's not going to do that again. Like he's like a big blow up and then nothing, and then a blow up and then nothing. So he may blow up next week, or he may do nothing. I mean, he's really just a high ceiling, zero floor, like a floor of zero, like kind of player.
Arizona's tight end.
Arizona's tight end
next week for Seattle.
Oh, is that who it is? Actually, then that would be Ertz, I think.
Honestly, though, I don't disagree, but I don't also agree with my brother. I'm trying to pick up Taysom Hill right now, honestly. If you're so deep and in pain and you need a wow factor, I mean, maybe start him as a flex, especially if you have Mark Andrews or Kelsey. Why not? Throw him in there just for the off chance that he gets in there and throws a touchdown or runs a touchdown. You're only getting a point or two anyways from all these other crappy tight ends.
I mean, the thing is, like, I just don't think. So, part of the reason.
The problem. You don't think? Let's just clear that up, man.
Let's go with this. Here's the reason why Taysom Hill was useful this week and not going to be useful next week. In week 1, he had 14.8 points. In week 2, 1.4. Week 3, 0. Week 4, 8.1. Week 5, 34.08. The problem is that The reason why he was able to do so much this time was because Jameis Winston wasn't there. If Jameis Winston were in, there's no way that they would have relied as much on
So
Taysom Hill.
is Jameis Winston in this week?
He's supposed to be back this week. I don't know, but that's the assumption. That's
But
what
did you not
I've
just
heard.
say if someone's been out for a couple weeks injured, we shouldn't start them right away?
No. I'm not saying starting Taysom. I'm not saying starting Jameis Winston. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is don't expect Taysom Hill to do the same thing that he did last week because this week Jameis Winston should be back.
I'll admit, anytime you end up chasing points, it usually never works for you. I mean, Scott has been chasing points all 5 weeks.
And take a look at T.J. Hawkinson. If you chase T.J. Hawkinson, guess what? If it's not somebody who normally does well.
J.K. Dobbins was another one. 30 points last week or something.
Yeah.
Not 30, but 13.
Yeah, like 7 this week or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Go into detail about what you mean by guys I'm worried about.
The guys that I am worried about. Russell Wilson. Actually, I got Russell Wilson and I got Matthew Stafford because Russell Wilson and Matthew Stafford, like, I'm worried about them and their offenses as a whole. Like, LA needs to get Odell back. Like even if the Buffalo Bills are talking to him, like, LA needs another because Allen Robinson has been garbage for them. They got to get another wide receiver in there. I mean, because right now it's only Cooper Kupp.
Let's talk about the Rams as a whole. They have no running game. They have one weapon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, they have two okay weapons.
Higbee.
They got Higbee. Even Skoranek is a wide receiver for them, and he's doing okay.
Who?
But Ben Skoranek. Yeah,
schizophrenic. Exactly. What did you say?
but that's the thing is like exactly that's the reason why like right now Cooper Kupp is just another worldly talent. And the thing is like Cooper Kupp hasn't actually been doing as great as he was doing before.
Well, because there's nobody on the other side of the ball.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So right now, Russell Wilson is averaging 14.8 points per game, which is not great. And then Matthew Stafford is averaging 10.7 points a game. And this is like, it's just terrible.
Do you remember at the beginning of the year, we're like, hey, Seattle made the worst decision of their life, getting rid of Russell Wilson and starting Geno Smith. And it's like, hey, Seattle got rid of Russell Wilson, and they are just killing it because of, they're not killing it, but the Geno's killing it. And
and not only that,
I saw an interview where it was like they were asking Geno, like, given how your season started and where you are now, and are you surprised how far you come? He's like, his question then was like, are you surprised that I made this far? He's like, yeah. The reporter was like, yeah. He's like, well, that's just because you never seen me throw. He's like, but that's the point. Like, that was the question, was you've been a backup this entire time. Nobody's seen you throw.
Like, well, he was with the Jets.
Was it the Jets? Yeah. But he said. And then was that after Sanchez he was there?
Say it again.
Wasn't that after Mark Sanchez he was there?
I think Geno Smith was right after Mark Sanchez, yeah. But the thing is like when you look at what the Jets have been, like garbage and garbage and garbage and garbage, and you look at what Seattle's been, like Seattle's got great talent. Like they got really good wide receivers, a good running game. They like a great running game even now.
He only has to throw 10 feet of DK Metcalf.
But that's okay, like within like close range. But that's the thing is like people were sitting there saying, well, he's probably just doing little dump offs. No, like that dude's like hawking it down the field. So being able to see him in a good offense, you see him shining through, and I'm like, man, that looks good. That's even Cody was even Schrute Farms is looking to trade me. Like I think I said this Geno Smith for some wide receivers or a wide receiver or something like that. And so
speaking of trade offers,
yep, get it. Oh! Quick story because this is hilarious to me, and I need to send you this picture. In our league, Biggest Loser has Matthew Stafford, and he asked me before last week. He was like, "Hey, are you interested in Matthew Stafford?" I said, I mean, he's a quarterback, and I need a quarterback, but like I might be interested in him. You know, it might be interesting. So this is what he does: Darren Waller, Matthew Stafford, and Mac Hollins from the Las Vegas wide receiver. He wants to get Gabe Davis, Mark Andrews, and Devonta Smith. I'm like, I don't need a quarterback that bad. Like, there's no way I'm trading away the second best tight end in the league. There's no way I'm trading away a fantastic wide receiver. And all of this is after Gabe Davis blew up this week. And you're gonna you think I'm gonna look at Matt Collins and be like, oh, that's a good trade. That's a good. Let me explain something really quick. You need to work on your trading. Like that was like the dumbest trade offer I've ever seen.
That's not the dumbest. I mean, come on now. What do you think worse than that? I've offered you worse than that.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like how dumb would I have to be?
So like this was my trade offer. I offered a guy in our league. So he's like, hey, I'll give you Gabe Davis. You give me Mark Andrews. I was like, I was like, but I need another tight end too. So then he's like, well, how about Alan Lazard, Mark Andrews for Gabe Davis and Kittle? I'm like, yeah, I kind of need a better wide receiver option. I'm not really concerned about tight end. But I was like, then he made this comment about picking up Taysom. I was like, I could flex start Taysom and still have Mark Andrews, and then possibly trade Mark Andrews for a better running back or quarterback. I was like, how about I sent him a text? I was like, how about Mahomes for Andrews? He's like, that's who my name's based after. I was like, okay, my name's based after Andrews. I was like, let's trade. He's like, I can't give you my number 1 points. I was like, I'm giving you my number 1 points. He's like, no. He's like, you're crazy. Well, that might be true. Scott's Tots.
Trade partners.
Do you agree that he probably needs to just hunker down? He had a great pickup with Walker. I mean, looking at his team right now, like he has a solid team. I might even say he wins this week.
I think he still needs decent wide receivers. Cortland Sutton's good. Chris Godwin's starting to pick up, but even Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Probably my advice now would be like just hunker down, wait, see what happens. I would probably get rid of Samaje Perine, try and trade him to the. Oh, never mind. I was like, trade him to the Joe Mixon owner. He is the Joe Mixon owner.
You got this, Scott.
Yeah. Jayo Scott. Oh, wait, no, that's Chinese.
Ooh, shots fired. Let's just put it like this.
Go.
I said I call that Scott wins this week, and he plays you.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You got this, Scott.
Go ahead, Scott. Good luck. Enjoy your 0-6. That's what I told him. I said, how do you feel about 0-6? Because he sent me a message. He's like, we play this week. And I was like, how do you feel about 0-6? We shall see.
Wow.
I need to get my quarterback. I mean, go Dave! I might need that quarterback pretty quick, buddy. But yeah,
let's see if you can do it 2 weeks in a row. Just don't even start a quarterback. Let's see how well you do.
Well, Teddy's supposed to be back. Biggest loser. I think he could have a resurgence based on depending on how Keenan Allen comes back and how well Michael Pittman does now that they look like they have Alec Pierce, who is available. I don't know if you put in any money to possibly get him or not. I'm trying to get him a little bit, but yeah. So he just needs to get rid of Matthew Stafford. There's no reason to have him. I would probably try and trade. Right now,
actually,
go ahead.
Here's my thing. I would say Scott, go after trading Jeff Wilson Jr. to Biggest Loser, because Biggest Loser has Antonio Gibson, who's probably going to be sitting now because of Brian Robertson's coming back in. So I mean, that might be your chance. I wouldn't say get rid of Walker, but maybe if he'll take Jeff Wilson Jeff Wilson Jr. for maybe Hollywood Brown. I don't know, Pittman. I doubt he's going to trade Allen, but get you that wide receiver right there, somewhere around there. And
but let's go with that. One of the challenges for Biggest Loser though is he needs
a running back.
Like yes, but Jeff Wilson's only available for 2 more weeks because I think Elijah Mitchell comes back, and because Jeff Wilson, I think if I look this up right, he's available for maybe just 1 more week. He has a bye week, and then Elijah Mitchell's supposed to be back. So it's really only 1 week that would be useful this week. Now, granted, Biggest Loser needs to win a week, and that's kind of where you're kind of paying attention. Is you need to pay attention to winning a week for sure. But it's really like, and I don't know, maybe it's just easy for us because we're like in the winning bracket. Like we can sit there and we can look at the losing bracket, but like I know it's difficult. Like to trade away your best. Like even me, I'm sitting there like even contemplating.
Hold up, back up. Just because I'm 4-1 does not make me feel like I'm in the winning bracket. I've been on the other side of this.
Even me being 3-2, I'm just 1 loss away from just like dropping.
I mean, hear me out. Jeff Wilson Jr., Elijah Mitchell. You make a 2-for-2 trade. You might get a good and a mediocre, but that's the point. Because you just picked up Walker. They're going to come back whenever they come back. Do it.
Yeah.
Make the call. Do the 2-for-1.
I would trade if I were Scott. I would probably be maybe gunning for Keenan Allen or even Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown. I'll take Marquise Brown. Pittman Jr. Hell, he's been doing bad. Like, why not try and do it?
Well, yeah. Maybe not aiming for Pittman.
I mean,
I don't know. They might.
I mean, Scott, you do try and convince us that the trades are good. So if anybody might take it, you could be like, hey, look, Pittman sucks. Jeff Wilson's all right. Let's make a trade.
Jeff Wilson's good. He's not all right. He's good. He's good.
Like, is he good enough to keep the spot when Mitchell comes back?
No. But that's why. But I would say getting rid of Mitchell and Wilson, like doing a 2-for-1 for like Marquise Brown or DK Metcalf or Keenan Allen. Like I think a 2-for-1 would be good for them. But then again, it is hard to come by running backs though. But he's got Kenneth Walker, he's got Joe Mixon, J.K. Dobbins.
Again, Scott was at the Seattle game over here sabotaging Rashad.
Yeah, right.
Rashad Penny, yeah. They've been over there tripping them up or something.
Okay. So how about the Waterboys? Yep.
I mean, I can't say he's bad. He's beaten both of us.
Yeah, but that's all he's beaten.
He lost Damian Harris. You got to go after another running back. Have to. I mean, all you got's wide receivers after that. Singletary's not that great. You got J.D. McKenzie, but like I said, Washington's got their star back. Hell, you know what? Waterboys, go after Jeff Wilson Jr. and Elijah Mitchell. Give up one of your good guys. Now, granted, Scott's going to want Deebo Samuel for sure.
Or Jamar Chase. Probably Jamar Chase.
Nah, I mean, I don't think Chase been doing that great this year. Not like he was last year, but I'm saying, yeah, he will try that. I mean, do what I did. Hell, I mean, I dumped off Jonathan Taylor to my brother, gave him the first 2 draft picks of the league, and you know what? Sometimes you got to make sacrifices. You need running backs. And you suck. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But you need running backs. You beat me, okay? You don't suck that bad. You beat me really good. I mean, Damian Harris is done. You don't have any other viable options, really, so go for it. Make the trade. Jamar Chase, hey, give me Jeff Wilson Jr. and I don't know. Tyler Algier for the next 2 weeks. Or do both of them, Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson. It's a fair trade. You know what? And if he doesn't give you that trade, you come see me and I will give you. I don't think I have anybody to give right now. They're all on bye, so. Yeah. Oh, man, that's funny. Oh, let's see. Last person, let's ride off.
Let's ride. Yep.
Let's
New to the bottom.
New to the bottom. Hey, Najee Harris. Get rid of him.
Or like trade him away on name value. Like that. That's
That's what I'm
got to
saying.
be.
Get rid of him. Russell Wilson. Get rid of him.
Yep.
You have Robinson now. You have Kenny Pickett, who I think is a better start all day long. Darnell Mooney supposedly is supposed to start playing better now. I mean, you have a stack. Get rid of. You know what? This is what I do. Get rid of Harris, trade for a better wide receiver, and you can just go with the Robinson twins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you have there. He needs a better RB for flex, but I think he's got two great options there. Maybe keep Najee Harris as like a backup, but like I said, you're trading the name away. I mean, Nick, would you agree Taylor's no longer a first round draft pick? Probably where he's at right now.
Where he's at right now, yeah. I think
I mean,
I'm hoping and I'm praying that this like after this injury, I'm hoping he's just like woo, it just goes like crazy on the
let's
league
just say
like he
like
has
this:
been.
go bring Najee Harris to Biggest Loser, Waterboys, off him an equal trade, 1-for-1, 1-for-2. Maybe Scott if he's
But
not acting crazy and thinking his wide receivers are that great again.
here's the thing:
Trade
I
the
wouldn't
name boy. That's
necessarily
all I'm saying.
trade. I wouldn't necessarily trade. I wouldn't go kind of like what I was telling like Scott. I wouldn't necessarily trade your like trade to other like down teams because they're much less likely to give up their good guys. Like even their like decent guys are much less likely to give them up. They're like holding on to them tight. So what I would do is I would aim for like the bigger ones. Like if like even now, I'm kind of like middle of the pack, so I can't
You know
even
what?
really like
You know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hey, I need a running back.
probably not.
I'm not going to give you Mike Evans, but, make me a good offer for Waddle. He's on tilt. Why wouldn't I trade him away?
I mean, why wouldn't you trade away Mike Evans for let's say what if he gave you like a Leonard Fournette for Mike Evans, something like
Not
that?
a 1-for-1. I would need another. If he gave me Leonard Fournette and I'd like one of his backup wide receivers. Listen, before I go put my mouth in my foot or foot in my mouth, let me look at his team.
Actually, that's probably the best. Actually, I'm going to take a look at my team and see like if
Ooh,
there's
I don't know if
any
he would want Waddle though.
why.
He already has Hill.
What's wrong with him?
He already has Tyreek Hill. Is what I'm saying. He'd have double. Yeah. Hell, bring me Leonard Fournette and Tyler Boyd, and I'll try and give you. We're talking about Mike Evans, right? Yeah, I'll give you Mike Evans for those two. Well, let me just say this, Scott. This is directly for you. I'm 1-4 in one of my other leagues, a standard league. It sucks so bad. I'm 1-4. I don't know. So they have on ESPN they have this rudimetric where it shows your draft order. So I draft second overall, right? And then it shows your projected finish, right? And somehow I'm 1-4, but it's saying I'm gonna still finish at second place. Don't know how. I don't know what it sees that I don't see. Once
Did you
again,
pick up
it's the
Jonathan
same thing.
Taylor?
No, that one I have. Oof, who do I have in that league? My top. I don't have a quarterback. Go figure.
Yeah. you have a knack for not getting quarterbacks.
Oh no, I have a stack. Like, listen to the stack. Tom Brady, which is not great. Zeke, Jeff Wilson, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, Eagles defense, Koo as the kicker. Got a stack. I'm doing Scott all day long. I'm just not picking the right people at the right time. I'm chasing points over here. Like it's a 10-man league too. So like there's plenty of people out there. Like the only win I got, I went and picked up 3 of the players I started. Eagles defense, the kicker, and I don't know. Jeff
You
Wilson.
want to know the really bad thing? In my other league, I'll tell you
Khalil
something.
Herbert is who I picked up on the waivers and got points off of those three.
Yeah. I'll tell you something dumb that I did in my other league. I dropped the San Francisco 49ers defense. Scott was wanting to trade me, was wanting to get Mark Andrews. Apparently Mark Andrews is like, people are like begging for him. I wonder if Schrute Farms is dealing with the same thing with Kelsey.
I gave you Jalen Hurts for Mark Andrews and another person.
So you will give me Jalen Hurts and another person for Mark Andrews?
No.
Oh no, that not happening. Not happening. Sorry, sir. No. Nice shot. That's cute. Because like that's the thing is like Scott was like I'll give you what was he? He was like I'll give you one of my top running backs, and I was like I don't know if you'd be willing to give up Mixon. He was like I'll give you Jeff Wilson. I'm like Jeff Wilson has like 1 week left. He's like J.K. Dobbins. I'm like he did good last week. This week kind of crappy. And then he was like how about Kenneth Walker? I was like okay, and he's like and he's gonna how about Jared Goff? Like, why would I want Jared Goff? Like, he's been okay, but he's kind of like come back to normal. But he's like, I'll give you. I was like, give me Tom Brady and Kenneth Walker, and we can talk. And he's like, I can't really give up Tom Brady. He's like, how about Jared Goff and Njoku? I'm like, are you joking? You Njoku. You and joking.
You and joking.
That was better. That was better. I don't know. Like you and joking. Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah. It wasn't great, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's like basically, I don't know. Like I should probably be on the bottom just because my quarterback is garbage. But I mean, the four guys on the bottom got Matt Ryan, Trevor Lawrence, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson as their quarterbacks. And my assumption is they got those guys too early, especially the Russell Wilson one. I mean, that one, Les Rye is just probably kicking himself for that. I mean, I would be kicking myself. Matthew Stafford for Biggest Loser, he's benched for Trevor Lawrence, which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's just all sorts of craziness. But anyway, actually, it's really funny because now that I'm looking at Scott's team, because I wasn't looking at it earlier when he was trying to trade me and stuff, he's like, hey, man, how about you give me Mark Andrews and I'll give you Jared Goff and Njoku and maybe one of my running backs. I was like, that sounds like I do need a quarterback. Like, okay, Jared Goff is on bye. So that would leave me to have to still have a quarterback in. Like, and guess who? And who am I playing this week? Scott Tots. So Scott, I'm on your wild.
He did the same thing. He's like, "Hey, you want to do that Chase Edmonds trade for Duvernay or McKenzie straight across?" I was like, "Dude, I gotta start McKenzie. Like he's all I got." Well, then they benched McKenzie. He's out on concussion protocol still, and I was like, "I sure as hell can't trade you anybody now." Like I got nobody to start. Like I'm sitting there starting.
But that's the thing is like, it's a smart thing to do. Like to look ahead. This is definitely one of the tips that you would want to have. Look ahead, see what your opponent has that you could possibly trade one of your bye week players for. Be like, oh, okay, like look a week or 2 weeks ahead and be like, okay, so this guy has this guy has that, and because I don't even know. Like, have you looked at any of your matchups for the coming weeks?
Yes.
You have?
I have Lamarvel and Heartbeat.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a tough one.
You have Lamarvel this week?
No, I have London Silly Nannies this week. Then I have Lamarvel. Then I have Heartbeat.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Golly.
We're gonna separate the men from the boys real quick.
Yeah, about to happen real quick. Oh man, and then let's see. So in week 7, I got London Silly Nannies. I'm in so much luck.
Wow.
I have London Silly Nannies. He has Josh Allen on bye, Cooper Kupp on bye, and so I'm like, thank you.
Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you.
That's fantastic. All right, let's see who I've got after that. Is it kind of the same? Yeah, it goes in the same. Lamarvel universe is next. Gosh, he's starting everybody. Crap. He's got all his team.
Let's see. Who do I have? I basically have all my players are benched. Ooh, it says Rashad Bateman should be back, but we'll see.
Oh, biggest losers in week 9. That'll be an easy win. Leprechauns.
Ooh, there you go. Buffalo's on bye. Oh my god. So when I play Lamarvel, Buffalo's on bye, who he has Stephon Diggs, and the Rams are on bye, who he has Tyler Higbee. Do you know who on my team's on bye? Jalen Hurts.
Yep. Those bye weeks, man.
Ooh, that would be a good matchup though. New York Jets at Denver.
I mean, like a crap matchup is what you mean, but yeah.
I don't know. New York just had a hell of a team.
I mean, the Jets do, but Denver?
No, I'm talking about me starting Zach Wilson. Not Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Let's see. So the Marvel's week 7. Oh no, I have the biggest loser week 8. I don't know where I got Heartbeat. Let's see. Who does he have on by? Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler.
You and I have a rematch in week 14. Just in time for Jonathan Taylor and Alan Lazard to go on by. Yay.
That is the best trade I've made in my entire life. Well, actually, I lied. The Julio Jones trade I made 2 years ago was the best trade I made in my entire life.
Julio Jones one.
I traded Julio Jones for a first-round draft pick.
Oh, that. Yeah.
For the next year. Didn't get my first-round draft pick, but I still won.
This might. Well, hopefully, this turns into one of the best trades that I've done with Jonathan Taylor. I need him to come back with a vengeance.
I hope he does, just not against me.
But he won't. You ain't got to worry about that.
And then look at the bright side. You ain't got to worry about them benching him through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they suck so bad, they're going to need them.
Well, that's the other thing, too. Is our playoffs start in week 15. And there's
right, that's what I'm talking about.
18 seasons or 18 weeks in the game, in the season.
I thought it was 17.
There's 17 games each team has to play. It's 18 weeks total because every team gets a bye. So,
well, why don't you close this off?
All right. Yeah, that's a good point. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you watching. If you are watching, click the subscribe button there on YouTube. Click the bell. Give us a little like and send us a comment below. Let us know how your fantasy league is going. How are you doing this season so far? If you are listening and you want to watch, get on over to YouTube. The link will be in the description. If you cannot watch, but you would rather listen, I will put that in the YouTube description as well. If you're listening on your favorite podcasting app, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. Let us know how your season is going. Let us know if we have helped out or if we have hindered your season at all. I'm Nick.
I'm Andrew.
And as always,
you have an open invitation to our conversation.
Bye-bye.